So, guys, welcome to another AntWak, AMA kind of a session, Ask Me Anything session. So, today's topic is learn to create an effective brand story using digital marketing. So, let me take you through the agenda of today's session. As I told you, this is a AMA kind of a session. You'll be asking questions. So, first, I'll be introducing to our lovely speaker. Manjunath. Then we'll be discussing on, why branding is important, how branding and storytelling has changed in the digital age, and what are some important things to keep in mind. And, branding and storytelling for small business and startups. And yeah, we'll start our discussion with this. Let me take a moment to introduce Manjunath. So Manjunath is a self-motivated starter. He's having entrepreneurial mindset. He's having a strong 15 years of experience in driving large teams globally to drive revenue marketing performance. And he have defined marketing goals with budgets and deployed model to track global performance for marketing decision. So he achieved 10x organizational and revenue goals and build, a critical function for marketing planning, execution, measurement, and insights. His expertise includes B2B marketing strategies, lead generation, market research, digital marketing, online advertisement, and so on. And he's a marketing advisor for startups and passionate speaker in different events and webinars, podcasts. So very, very warm welcome, Manjunath.
Thanks, Ampi. A pleasure to participate in this AMA session.
Yes. So let's discuss as I have already told. So let's discuss about, what is like a brand, and why branding is important for any company.
Yeah. Okay. See, whenever we say it as a brand, it's a representation, right? So the moment we think of something, so we think of that particular person or that particular symbol who endorses that particular brand. So even if we go back and if we talk about our own Bollywood industry, just to bring some Indian context to the story here, the moment we say Mr. Perfectionist, people will think of Amir Khan. So likewise, there are multiple representations that people think through. Like the moment we think of Amitabh Bachchan, there is certain aspects of his behavior coming in. So there are a lot of these aspects coming in. So brand, as per me, to put in a very simple words, is a representation. There should be a recall when someone thinks of it. For example, it can be a symbol, it can be a name, it can be your logo. When I say symbol, I'm talking about the logo. So whenever we represent that, there should be a memory recall. And that memory recall should be something good, right? I mean, people should be able to grasp it, people should be able to discuss it. Then the word of mouth should happen. And even keeping all this aside, there'll be some controversies. I mean, we had some controversies happening with some of the leading brands also very recently because it was misrepresented and hurting kind of women's sentiments. So there's a lot of these things happening. So way we represent ourselves will be a part of branding, Rampi.
Right. So can you tell me like how branding has evolved, 10 years back, if we can see, and now, like how it is evolved and how difficult it's now to keep your brand in the social media?
Okay, cool. I mean, it's a perfect question for me because I'm in this industry for over a decade. I mean, if you ask me, if I go back to 2005, 2006, branding was very complex subject. I mean, not to scare anyone, not to scare the audience here. Branding was a very complex subject because anybody coming in fresh or maybe with the experience of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, we were not allowed to touch any aspects of branding. So we were given a certain portfolio. If I'm running a lead generation, I had to run lead generation. If I'm a marketing analyst, I had to do marketing analyst job. And there was very little opportunity for us to kind of do something for the brand. So every guideline used to come from a corporate head office wherein they create each and every corporate material for us. And we used to use that material and we used to do our own marketing campaigns. But as the marketing has evolved, especially through digital marketing, this entire game has completely changed. And that too with social media coming in, we have so much of representations that we can do via multiple channels. It can be Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest. So we have multiple places where we can go and represent the brand. And very good thing that has happened, and we can say that has evolved over the time, is anybody, even a kind of a fresher coming in, can speak about a brand. And I'm seeing a lot of discussions happening through multiple channels, including yours, wherein people are discussing about brands very early in the career. This opportunity was definitely not at all there for us, and we were not allowed to touch any aspects of logo. So we used to do a very defined branding or brand guidelines that used to come in, what we call it as a brand book. So we had to follow the brand book. So having said that, there's nothing like now we are not following any branding guidelines, or now we are not following any brand book or brand guidelines. So now what is happening is, with the help of social media, the reach has come in. And since we have multiple channels, I see myself when I work with a lot of companies, there are multiple people kind of representing multiple channels. There are certain people who are like owning up the LinkedIn campaigns. There are people who are owning up the Twitter campaigns. There are people who are owning up only the Facebook campaigns. So the aspect of branding which people can come in and take is like enormous today. And if we talk about the evolution that has happened, before it was kind of, we used to discuss about ATL, BTL activities. So where I can put my kind of my signboard, and where we can go and advertise, which newspaper we can publish, how much of field events we can do. So that used to matter. And we used to buy a lot of gifts whenever the sales team used to meet customers. It used to go with our branding logo, and we used to do a lot of offline activities in order to get our branding traction. So it was kind of initially, if I go back 2 decades before, it was 10, 90. 10 was kind of online, 90 was offline. As it evolved, it became 20, 30, 40. And over a decade, when I was like managing marketing for one of the largest MNC of $6 billion, it was still 40% online and 60% offline. So I'm talking about like 2009, 2010. We did not have much of opportunity. That's when the email marketing had emerged. So social media was still not, it had not evolved as it is now. So we were talking about email campaigns. Then we were talking about marketing campaigns as a whole. Then came in the revenue function of it. So initially it was very easy. We used to say we used to do branding, and we used to do a lot of events. We used to give a lot of gifts. So marketing was thought as a function which will kind of build brand for companies. And it was not kind of represented as kind of a revenue function. Then the revenue function started coming in after kind of 2010, 2011. From the revenue function, it got evolved. And with the introduction of social media that coming in along with the revenue functions, even when you do branding, there is definitely an aspect of ROI that is attached to it. So, and the performance that we could see, right? I mean, what is the impression for my post? How many people like my post? What is the reach of my post? And how many people have commented? So we used to, I mean, if I go back to 2010, we had prepared an Excel sheet wherein we used to calculate, okay, what is the number of likes? What is the number of comments we got? And we used to put it, and we used to make our own index. Today, that is not required at all. We have enormous amount of marketing automation coming in. So much of marketing automation tool that we need to learn, and there is access to so much of dashboards that we have today. So it has made very, very easy. So now that 40% became 50% from 50% got evolved, and that too because of pandemic, I am seeing almost 100% of people doing only digital marketing. Even their events and webinars and AMA sessions like this, everything has come online. And I mean, I work for one of the company who were into volunteering. So they were doing a lot of field volunteering. You believe it or not, today everything is happening through virtual volunteering, and 100% is virtual volunteering. And if we have to reach volunteers, the scale was around 1 lakh volunteers to reach in 1 month. That was possible only because of the evolvement that has happened through the digital marketing that has come through. So we could publish what is the kind of work that we were doing across the geographies in terms of volunteering opportunities, and people were able to perceive that opportunity, see that in multiple social media channels, and from there they were able to pick it up, and we were able to do that particular scale. So that entire 10% has almost become 100%. Maybe as the market opens in a year's time, I'm seeing maybe 20% will go back. So it will still be 75 to 80% will be online today, and 20% will be field marketing activities. So that's how the entire aspect has come in. So me bringing in that field marketing aspect is to tell people that it was not as easy as it was kind of a decade before, wherein we had to do a lot of these activities. Now, at a tip of button, sitting at your place, managing your social media, you can manage your brand, and it was not easy that much as we are thinking this, Yanti.
Right. So as you said, so we have, everybody knows we have so many channels right now. So
Yeah,
to make your identity common, like in LinkedIn, your voice should be different.
yeah.
In Twitter, your voice should be different. In Insta, your voice should be different. So how to make sure you are like your voice is perfect across each channels and your
Okay.
story, your channel, yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the basic of branding comes through. When we go for basic of branding, we'll keep certain guidelines.
Right.
And we need to address the target audience. Always we will have to do the target market analysis, which target and which market we are doing. I mean, even before I dwell in deep on the set question, I mean, there was a assignment that we were doing. And even before we took that assignment, they used to publish all their posts during Indian timings. So that is during IST. But their target geography was US. So just because they were working on Indian timings, they used to publish everything on IST timings. And we could see that the reach was not that much. People are not seeing it. When people are active in US timings, and they were not getting that much of response. So these small things like this will also matter. So what we push at what time and what target geographies we are doing. So there are brands who are in India. That is what is happening, right? With all the funded startups today, we all are sitting in India and we are like marketing across the globe. So we need to understand which market we are doing. That is one. So once that is done, even when we define brand guidelines, see, when we talk about English itself as a language, there are multiple English, right? I mean, now in a couple of websites, I am seeing Indian English as one of the option. Then we have UK English. Then we have US English, right? So it's very important as a company to define who is my target audience and stick to it. If my target audience is only India, I'm okay to have Indian accent and Indian English and do my posts accordingly. And there are brands who are like doing it in multiple languages, in multiple Indian languages itself, because their target audience is India. And if my target audience is US, we have to stick to a particular US language because that is where we will get maximum response. So we will have to define branding guidelines based on the target geography. And based on the target geographies, we are going to now drill down on which are the channels that we are going to do. So here we will have to bifurcate what we are doing. So for simplicity, we will bifurcate into B2B, B2C, and D2C. So B2B, in the interest of audience, to make it simple, B2B is like business to business. If I have a company, if I have to market it to AntWak, so I will be taking a channel where I can talk to an AntWak CEO and market my services. B2C is business to a respective customer who will become a consumer. I mean, all your Flipkarts to Amazon will be a perfect example of B2C. Now, the evolvement of another vertical is D2C, direct to consumer, wherein I grow something and I want to market it, or maybe I am a craftsman who is kind of building on toys for young kids. So I want to market it directly to people. So I will build my own e-commerce site and I will post everything, whatever I want there, and it will directly go without any kind of a middleman or any support of any website, something like Flipkart or Amazon, wherein the respective entrepreneurs will post there, but now there is an opportunity to directly go to consumer. So now we have three brands. So now B2B, B2C, and D2C. In B2B, more or less we stick on to LinkedIn because it's more of a professional network, because I have to reach to CEO, I have to reach to head of product management, I have to reach to head of marketing for a particular portfolio, I have to reach to a CTO. So LinkedIn will be a perfect choice. While saying LinkedIn, most of the times we keep Twitter constant because Twitter, we can use it for both B2B and B2C campaigns. But for B2B, more or less, we are going to go for LinkedIn, wherein we will have to bring in that professional angle to market it to people. Now comes B2B and B2C. So when it comes to B2C, where the people will be active. So I know for B2B, the company's representatives will be more active on LinkedIn. So that's one of the reason I am marketing on LinkedIn. Now coming to other aspects, where will the consumer be active? He will definitely be active on Facebook. He will definitely be active on Instagram. He will definitely be active on a share chat. So there's a lot of opportunities for us to reach people. So that's where B2C, we will have to choose channel where I feel my target audience is sitting and they will be able to listen to us in whatever way we are trying to communicate. So that will be there. Now comes D2C. D2C is also a similar approach because we will have to market ourselves. Again, it is going directly to the consumer. So Facebook, then Twitter, Instagram, and these channels will be very, very helpful. So we need to drill down on a particular channel depending on what kind of business we are. Once we drill down, we need to have our messaging going on to people on what we need to do. And that's where the brand story comes in, right? This is our logo and this is what we perceive. This is my product and this is what we perceive. People will bring in some celebrities also to market in their respective channels. You know, one of the favorite cricketers of all the time who is playing for India today, he has lakhs and lakhs of followers, and one to get one message out from him, it will make a day for a particular entrepreneur. So that's how people use a lot of these techniques to bring in and market it across channel. It is very important for us to define what channel we go very early in our campaigns. Otherwise, we'll be going in, we'll be doing a lot of content, we'll be doing a lot of designs. Sometimes we'll also spend money on advertisements, and all these things put together will lead to waste of time, and we will see no, someone is not responding and we are not getting any response. We'll get a lot of these thoughts from people. So it's very important for us to define the target geography. Then from target geography, what you are, whether you are B2B, B2C or D2C, from that drill down on channel where you are, it's kind of a hierarchy. Then it will go LinkedIn and Twitter, then LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, then Twitter, Facebook, then Instagram. So it's very important for us to define that. From there, start working on content, what people will like. So, for example, if I get someone who speaks on Instagram and maybe who does that stand-up comedy and who want to attract people, may not work in LinkedIn environment because it's a different game altogether. Here, people would want to know, how can I learn more about my technical aspects? How can I improve my marketing skills? There'll be a lot of those aspects coming in for people. How can I grow within a company? People would want to know that. So that's where what content you give in after you do the entire hierarchical analysis which I mentioned here, and the right content going to them will lead us to a good strategy to penetrate, Rampi.
All right. So guys, this is an AMA session. You can ask your question. Let's make the session more interactive. Guys, you can ask questions. Anybody? You can raise your hand. We can unmute your self and you can start asking question. Right, I think we are not getting questions. Okay, so Manjunath, let's talk about, your favorite brand, like anything like Indian brand or global brand. You love their stories and those stories are very inspiring. So can you tell some brands and why do you like their stories?
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Initially, I was working for Samsung and I was working for Dell. So in Dell, we had a culture wherein we didn't want to unnecessarily market for people rather than give value for people. So, if I go back a decade before, definitely Dell happens to be one of my favorite brands. So they came to India with a vision that time. And one good thing I saw with them was they were not unnecessarily kind of spending money on advertisement as some of our competitors used to see. So way back in 2006, 2007, most of the Dell's competitor in India used to market via TV because television, and they used to get celebrity endorsement that time, and they wanted to kind of attract people and do their branding. Dell took a back step and they said, no, this is not our idea. We want to do something very inspiring, and we want to change the way people look at our brand. So very early in the startup world, before it was called as kind of a new company, an SME coming in. So startup was a terminology which we started seeing more after 2011, 2012, I can say. So in 2006, 2007, what Dell did was they picked up all the entrepreneurs who had achieved success through their companies. And they picked around 100 to 150 entrepreneurs, and they did a campaign by getting them onto the board, telling that how did you feel by using Dell? What are the benefits that you got out of our product? So we got all big names from the industry who have achieved very well in their personal as well as their professional careers. Companies who had achieved kind of 100, 200 crores of revenues, but still non-known to the public because that time digital marketing was not evolved as it is now. And we started doing campaign, and we started doing a lot of videos. We started doing a lot of email campaigns, and that's where people started recognizing Dell as a brand who will inspire entrepreneurs way back in 2006, 2007. And their strategy was very clear. We will market to someone who likes it. So unnecessarily going and hunting someone who doesn't want to get our brand in was not at all their strategy. So Dell happens to be one of my favorite brand when I talk about last decade. And if I talk about this decade, I mean, we have lots and lots. I mean, very recently, Freshworks is getting into IPO in US. So that's a very big news. So in spite of that, my personal choice will go for Zoho and Sridhar Wembu. I mean, someone staying in US decided to come back to India. He wanted to kind of float his own company, took his time, and he was not in a hurry to raise funding. Then he challenged people that he's going to change the perspective of people, and he has own facility in Tenkashi in a village in Chennai. So he came from there. Now he's kind of settled back in India, and he's kind of giving rural employment for people. And in spite of that, the company is almost achieving huge revenues. I mean, if I'm correct with approximate numbers, I think they are anywhere between 600 million to 800 million now, without any support of venture capitalists, and changing the way people look. And he's kind of training the rural crowd to make sure they get job in their respective tier 3 or tier 4 environment. So Zoho happens to be one of my favorite bands. They started from zero, and now they are like taking on the SaaS industry, and they're doing really great. So Zoho is my favorite one.
Right. Okay. So we got questions, shall we take those questions, Manjuna?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So Aisha Khan is asking, when is the right time to register the logo and trademark when it is just a startup with no revenues?
Okay. I mean, it's a very good question. So one is we did not have to hurry up for logo and copyrights initially, even though we're working on certain ideas. So there are multiple ways to work on your ideas. So what I normally suggest based on my experience, having kind of worked for multiple startups and advised multiple startups, what we typically do is very, very simple. I mean, sometimes we think very big, but we don't have to think very big. It's a very simple thing. Just float your own landing page. Today, there are a lot of landing page templates that is available. So you'll be able to do it free with certain tools, and you'll be able to do it with just $1 or $2 with other tools. Just float your own landing page template, do your own content. Be very specific on what you are positioning and for which audience, whether it's B2B, B2C, D2C, and whether it's India, whether it's US. So do your own landing page first. So there you can just do your own logo. You don't have to worry about how people think. It should just look neat and decent, and run campaigns across your segment. Just send it to your own set of people whom you think will be a target audience, and then run a campaign maybe with the help of an email tool for 400, 500 people, just to see whether how many people are responding, how many people are coming to your landing page, how many people are kind of responding and filling up the form onto your landing page. And if you are talking about a specific product in B2B, B2C arena, you'll be able to do it with very simple tools today. You'll have to just spend $5,000, $6,000 to market your products directly. So you will know what is the hit that you are getting onto your landing page with these people. Even if you do a random size of around 1,000 people, how many people responded back to you? How many people came back to your landing page? How many people filled up the form? What is the traffic I got for over a period of 15 to 20 days? Matters a lot. So this is at a idea stage wherein you will be able to evaluate a particular idea or a thought process that you have it at present. Now you are converting this idea into a concept, where in concept you say, okay, now I'm seeing a response from people. Let me make it and bundle it together and assign a particular pricing for it. Now you are assigning a particular pricing for it, and you could see out of 100 people you marketed, at least maybe 4 or 5 people responded and they want to purchase your particular product, meaning that there is some market traction that you are getting in. So you are just seeing a kind of a fractional revenue that is coming in. So take this up, and now you go a little bit aggressive in the market. If you are bootstrapped, you may have to kind of invest a very little amount. Don't think big that I will have to get big time consultants to help me out. You will be able to do a lot of things with the help of digital marketing today. You will be able to get that reach and get your first 25 customers if you are a B2B. And if you are a B2C environment, get your first 50 customers for your product or your service, whatever you are offering for them. And that's the time you need to start thinking about your logo. So if you have zero customers, if you're not getting any response from people, if you're not marketed at all, you are thinking of a particular concept that will be a hit and people will like that particular concept or a product, don't go for logo, don't go for registrations, don't go for copywriting. So simple thumb rule, I wanted to just iterate the process of what should you follow in order to validate your idea. So validate your idea, get 25 customers if it's a B2B, and get 50 customers if it's B2C or D2C. Now is the time wherein people are thinking about your brand. So there should be a representation for it. So we look at your logo, because initially I suggested you to go with a very decent logo, which you could design yourself or with the help of a designer without investing much into it. And from there, you pick it up, relook at what you want to do, what vision, and discuss with those 25-50 people, why did they purchase and what was the reason for the purchase. So you might come up with something new which you have not thought about it. I mean, people might say, maybe like, I am good in digital marketing and people want to do it. And while you are discussing with people, while myself was discussing people told me, Manju, you're very good in team management. And team management is completely out of digital marketing, and all this performance marketing I talk about. So that was a kind of a value add. So now I know I'm very good in team management, so I need to market myself in that particular way. When you speak to your customers, those initial 10 to 25 customers, you will come to know something which you yourself would have not have thought about your product or services. Take that, build your vision, build your mission, build your logo, build your tagline in such a way, and now you get into copyright environment. And now that will be the time for you to go and register your logo and copywriting for your business.
All right. I think Aisha will answer the question. So next question, Manjunath, as you said, for B2B, if 25 people we get and B2C 50 people. So like we got those people and we understood like why they bought your service or product. And then when to start proper branding and storytelling, in which stage of the startup, when to start the proper branding. Yeah.
Again, that will be the right time. Once you get 25-50 customers, so now comes the storytelling, very important aspect that we were discussing in today's topic. So what is storytelling? I mean, we didn't dwell deep. We were touching on multiple aspects. And now I think we are coming on to that very crucial aspect of storytelling. So what should be the story? So for example, someone coming in fresh out of a college, he can say, okay, I'm fresh out of a college. Depending on, I'm assuming certain things. So not to hurt anybody's sentiments here. So I'm taking the example of maybe tier 2 or tier 2 cities, because I myself have seen it with one of my close friends who was in a very big job in the corporate world. He went back to UP. He went back to his native town and he started doing farming. And now he's like, along with his farming, he's launching a lot of services to get pure honey to pure hemp to a lot of those aspects he's getting in. So now he has a story wherein, okay, he's working in a working for a large corporate. His paycheck, believe it or not, was almost 6 lakhs plus per month. So he was on 1 crore plus yearly annual package. So he left that particular job, went back to UP, went back to his village, started speaking to his farmers. He did the soil test once again, and he helped the farmers and told them that, see, this is what you are growing. You are supposed to grow this. I have maybe 5 or 6 acres of land. I'm going to grow this. He started growing certain crops there. He started getting the yield much better than some of those farmers there. And then he did not stop there. He was not selfish. He went around the village. He helped the farmers to get similar 5x or 6x of yield. Now that is a story that he's taking on and talking to people, telling that, okay, I left that corporate job. I went back to a tier 2 city. I went back to my native village. So now this is what I'm doing. I'm not just helping myself, but I'm also helping the fellow farmers. Plus, he's also showing the revenue breakup. So if I was in a corporate, maybe I used to get 7 lakh plus. Now with the help of farming, within 3 months, he has got a yield of around 1.5 crores. So even if he divide his salary, it will be 50 lakhs plus he could have missed if he was working on a corporate job. So that is the storytelling aspect that he is going to talk about to people. Then he's coming to brand. Okay, what is this brand? Then that particular brand is an organic brand, meaning that he has not used any chemicals for that particular brand and he is marketing it. So that's how we need to perceive. So you need to go back and understand what your strength, whatever weakness, what should be perceived, what is your brand. And maybe that concept would have come out of a discussion with your professor. So give due respect to your professor and you can get him on board and say, maybe with the help of this professor, I got this brand out, and you can give an introduction to that professor and build a story alongside with that. So every story is within us, and before it was not coming out as it is coming out now. Today, every founder has a story in a startup. So it comes from a startup story. I mean, if you talk about Freshworks, one of the recent IPOs in US, and one of the billion-dollar companies in terms of revenue. So it's very simple. I mean, if you look at Girish Mathrubootham, who is the CEO of Freshworks, he has created environment. He built up startup communities. I was a part of his startup communities. They did PN growth, then with the help of iSpirit, then now they are doing SaaS Boomi. So they are helping the communities across. And Girish's favorite is Rajnikant. So Rajnikant is known as Talaiva in the South Indian industry. So in SaaS industry, people call Girish as Talaiva. So where is SaaS industry? Where is Rajnikant and where is Talaiva? So there's no relation if you think from a branding perspective. But people are recognizing Girish because, okay, he likes Rajnikant. And now one of the name he has given for his IPO is Superstar. So Project Superstar, because Rajnikant is known as a superstar. So that's how we need to build our story. And it did not be like, okay, Girish did achieve so much of revenues. Okay, he did not be very kind of casual. He should be professional. Nothing matters a lot. Maybe I might like a soccer. I might like a Bollywood hero. I might like maybe any local regional language hero. You can go and build your brand. You can talk about your inspiration. Maybe I got inspiration by attending one of the AntWak talk. I could see the AntWak founders doing something very good. They're like getting the respect to subject matter experts, and we are getting a lot of inspiration from them to start understanding more about digital marketing and go well into the market. So that can be the inspiration point for people. That can also be a storytelling that I went to a particular webinar, particular AMA. I got inspired. I came to know that digital marketing can be done by ourselves without any investment. So that can be an inspirational story that we can take up. So once you get initial 25, 50 customers, think of the story that you can put it and just start iterating on the story and go forward. So that's what I would recommend, Rampi.
All right. So totally understandable. Like I can see like how Elon Musk is selling his own story, right? So yeah, this is very inspiring so to start with your brand. So next question, Karan is asking, Karan Singh, he's asking little generic questions, but let's take up like how can we reach more people through social media if you are a startup?
Okay, I mean that's a typical question for anyone who should be in a startup environment. So yeah, okay, I will give you both the hard tip and kind of a smart tip, right? Hard tip meaning you need to put efforts. We will go with examples. Maybe we'll pick a particular channel for ease of understanding, because we don't know the startup which is in which domain. So if I talk about a B2B startup, and if I pick about LinkedIn, so what people normally do is they keep posting things on LinkedIn. So content can be very high quality, content can be 10 on 10, content can be 7 on 10, content can be 5 on 10. There are multiple aspects that we will not get into it. In terms of content aspects, we will take it as other people are posting on LinkedIn. So how many people will see your posts on LinkedIn, right? I mean, you are a startup, I don't know you, and people doesn't know you. So you will have to kind of reach out to people. So in LinkedIn, you will have to reach out. I mean, it's an open community. So reach out to people personally, and write to them telling that, okay, this is my startup, and you can say, you can connect one or two posts or maybe one or two blogs that you are doing, and say, this is what we are trying to communicate to the people out here, and I feel you are a perfect kind of audience for me, and I would like to be in touch with you. So start sending requests every day. I mean, LinkedIn now has restricted to 100 people per week. Yeah, then start sending 100 requests. If you are a team of 5 people, 6 people, you can send 600 requests for people. And once they accept, start putting out things to them, and personally message them and tell them what is the value add that they can get by following you. So you will be able to reach without any investment. That this one, I have done it. I have told people to do it. We have reached the scale of around 10,000 plus followers by only doing this. So, but what we kind of extended this to a small strategic aspect. We started writing blogs about our product, our services, our niche. So today also the blog engine, you will get it through WordPress too. There are a lot of templates that is available. Why am I stressing more about no investment throughout my talks? Only for the reason telling that you might be in an early stage startup founder, you might be in a early stage of thinking or floating something of your own. So don't think that I need to get investment from my father, or I need to get investment from my brother who is working in a so-and-so MNC for me to be successful. So if you have those things in mind, please take it. You yourself can do it in this digital marketing world. So that's where I'm stressing no investment, and I'm talking about very low investment. So there are a lot of blog engines available through WordPress and a couple of other tools. Go get those blog engines, start writing content. So content is not easy, right? We would have studied in our own respective schools and convents in our childhood. So it will not come in as easy. So we have to do a lot of research. So do some research on what content that user will like and what content that user will read, right? If you come back and say I'm doing this is my product, this product will help me so and so, no one will read it, because you are a startup and there might be hundreds of products like that. Even if you are one of those niche product, people may not read because it's not kind of inspiring for them to read. So be very neutral and talk about what are the challenges, what are the pain points in the industry, and how in that particular industry addressing that particular pain point is very important, and how you as a startup is able to address that particular pain point. So that's very important. Do some of these content, start floating on your respective channels, start reaching out people personally, and do it. This is one of the strategies. I will quickly brief without taking much time on B2C and D2C. In B2C and D2C, what happens? Like LinkedIn will not be able to reach, because where can I reach? Because my mass is 1 lakh, 2 lakh. So Indian population itself is so huge. I need to reach out to all those people. So you might have a B2C or a D2C brand reaching out to customers. There you start floating content, reach out to your family and friends for the first time. So like you are reaching out to people on LinkedIn, reach out to your family and friends. Your Facebook will definitely have 400, 500 friends minimum. And today's generation, I am seeing 1,500 to 2,000 contacts that is coming in on your respective Facebook accounts itself. So get all of them to like, and now don't just settle there. Once they have liked, ask them to request them to kind of share it across their network, right? So if I assume your network is 1,000 people, you have a network of around 500 people. So 500 people have liked your Facebook profile. Now go and request those 500 people. You can ping them on their messenger. You don't have to spend any money. Talk to them and say, please share it across. Those 500 people might have another 500 people reach. So that will reach out to 25,000 people. So that's how your reach will increase. And once you are getting this reach, once you get 500,000 followers, make sure you are not putting any spam content or any irrelevant content. Every content matters, and people will be in a hurry to post something every day. I've seen one of the brand, they post once in 3 days, twice in a week, but people wait for that content because that content is so good and so informative for them. So do right content, and once you get certain followers, make sure you are adding on to that followers by doing the right content. So this is the kind of approach you need to take in a startup environment.
All right. Manjunath, it's 11:42. So shall we take some? So we are getting questions regarding digital marketing careers. Shall we take a few questions?
Sure.
Yeah. So Raj is asking, can you tell us like how the future of digital marketing looks like, and especially in social media marketing?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you are looking to make a career in digital marketing, this is the right time. Next 10 to 20 years will be the digital marketing era. So there is no doubt about it. I mean, like 20 years before, we used to talk about software. So Indians as software industry is getting a boom, like Infosys, TCS, etc. Then came software as a service, made it very easy. In marketing, we had a lot of tools. We had to learn statistical analytical software. We had to learn SPSS. We had to learn advanced Excel. There were a lot of things that we had to upskill ourselves a kind of a decade before. Now it's completely easy. It's going on an upward trend. Another 20 years definitely will be a digital marketing era. Today, if you don't believe me, go and check any company's website. I will not name a particular company. Go and check any company's website. You will definitely find more openings coming through digital marketing. It will be 5 to 10 openings will be there. And there are companies who are hiring 20, 30, 40 digital marketing professionals. That is one. Second thing, as I was telling you initially in the session today, most of the digital marketing most of the marketing as well as branding aspect used to be managed in their respective headquarters, like US, like Australia, like Europe, a decade or two before. Now it has completely changed. Everyone are coming back to India because India is producing so much of digital marketing professionals. Plus, our content is very good, which we can customize it to UK, US, and multiple regions. Plus, the kind of amount of youngsters that is coming out of India who is interested in digital marketing. Lot of companies, I mean, I can say more than 75% of the companies are having base. Like we used to have a software development center before in India. There is a digital marketing center that is coming across India. So MNCs can be working across 140 countries, but their digital marketing team is sitting back in India. So that digital marketing team will be 40, 50 people. So that's how it is going in. Even in social media marketing, yeah, there might be some channel that might go up and down in near future, maybe 3 years, 4 years down the line, but something will definitely evolve, right? I mean, the Orkut was there before. I mean, I'm not sure whether this generation remembers it from Google. Then Orkut went off, then came in Facebook. So Facebook is having a upper hand today. And there is another platform which I learned very recently, who is kind of elevating Facebook to a smaller group of audience. For example, like similar to what AntWak is doing, if I want to pull in some 10 people who are interested to discuss digital marketing, you can create a group within that particular channel, and you will get only content relevant for that. So there are some evolvement of social marketing will happen. Social media marketing will be very good. If you want to be in a social media marketing career, make sure you upskill your content, you upskill your designs, and upskill your the way you think creatively. But definitely next 2 decades, it will be a digital marketing era across the globe, and definitely for India, it will be a game changer.
All right. So hope Raj, you answer the question. And next question, Nisharg is asking. So this is very important. Like everybody, so he wants a job in as a digital marketing specialist, and how he can prepare or how he can start.
Okay, Nishank. So there are multiple channels in digital marketing, right? So we have SEO, we have social media marketing, we have marketing automation. Then comes your content design. There are multiple aspects in digital marketing. So there are certain companies who look at basic skill set across multiple channels. At least you should know what is SEO. There is something like functional SEO. There is something like technical SEO in the SEO arena. Then comes your social media marketing. Then comes your marketing automation, wherein you need to know how to pull off email marketing list, how to do kind of basics of email campaigning, account-based marketing. If you talk about social media marketing, at least you should have played around LinkedIn, Twitter, then Instagram. You should know how to post to people. You should have at least analyzed some companies who has done well in that particular industry. You should have also analyzed how people have not done well in the industry. What is the mistakes that they have done? So you need to analyze and prepare your set of, be prepared across multiple aspects. So, I mean, couple of people, wherever they have interned with me. What I tell them is, you can get your skill on top on one of those channels. I mean, you might pick SEO as one of the channel and you can upskill, but don't leave other aspects, marketing automation, social media, etc. So you need to do some homework there. Today, there are a lot of digital marketing courses available, and a lot of work has going into that aspect. So get into a kind of a simple digital marketing course and understand the basic. So your passion might come out of social media marketing. Your passion might come out of SEO. So make sure you learn those basic techniques. So no one will ask you. I mean, if someone is asking you to get the ranking of the website within 3 months for a digital marketing specialist who is getting into his first job, maybe then they have some problem. It will not happen like that. Then you are at the wrong side, Nishank. So what you should do is, like, you should learn those skills, and that skill should be fair enough to kind of impress your interviewing manager in the respective companies. You should get confidence telling that, okay, if I get so and so person, he'll be able to quickly learn and adapt to one of these environment, and he will be able to do it. So before you kind of think through getting into a digital marketing specialist position, look through. Today there are a lot of materials available on the internet. Read through. A lot of digital marketing blogs are there. Once you get some basics, I mean, read through for 5 days, 6 days, you will come to know what is SEO, what is social media marketing, etc. Then you will be able to join a particular digital marketing course that will help you, and they will give you a lot of perspective, and you will be shocked whether those digital marketing aspects will be there or not. So you will be introduced to a digital marketing world. You will get a visibility, and you will be able to prepare and then start applying for the respective jobs, Nishank.
Yes. All right. I'll take a moment, Manjunath, to tell what AntWak is doing. As you said, for if they start their career in digital marketing, so they should upskill themselves. So I'll talk about AntWak as an experiential, learning movement, which is powered by industry leaders like Manjunath. So we have 3 philosophies. So first one is learning from practicing professionals. So what we in AntWak did, we brought experts across the globe. As you can see, different brands are there. So they came and they discussed about, their experiential knowledge, how and what they gain from their job. So this is our first philosophy. So learning from practicing professionals. So second one is learning by doing stuff. We should focus more on practical hands-on knowledge rather than on normal boring theories. And third one is learning through live immersive classes. As Manjuna said, everything is online right now. We are in masterclass Zoom class. So we believe in learning through live immersive classes where learning is very effective, not like normal self-recorded content. So depending on those, we introduced a master's program in digital marketing. So the duration is 16 weeks. We have experts, 10 plus experts from different industries, different companies, as you can see, from Amazon, Google, Disney, Hotstar, Savan. So they are coming and teaching you guys. So we have more than 12 plus modules. For each module, we have projects which are very real-time kind of a project. So now our one cohort batch, they are working on no-code website building. So they are using Elementor WordPress to create landing page. So they they worked on, social media campaign, Facebook campaign, Google Ads campaign, marketing campaign. So they get their hands dirty on different tools, more than 12 plus tools you can see: Uber Suggest, HRF, Canva, Facebook Ads, Elementor. So if you guys want to start your career as a digital marketer, I will request you to check this link. I'll put the link in the chat box. So if you sign up to this using this link, then we can connect with you guys, and some discounts are also going on. So I'll request you to please check the link. Yeah, link is there in the chat. So yes, you can check this out. Okay, any more questions, guys? Okay, so Manjunath, I have one question, regarding branding, so these days we can see so much of social media brand banter is going on, right? So this week Money Heist launched Money Heist season 5. So you can see like other brands are also praising like Money Heist. So do you think this is also a like part of storytelling, like how Zomato is bantering with Netflix to promote Money Heist?
Yeah, definitely, Rampi. I mean, in storytelling, also we think of short term and long term. So, how do we get a short term benefit is definitely from the example that you gave. And also, people praise the recent Olympic winners, say they do it.
Right.
Then this Money Heist, I mean, there are a lot of memes that is coming in.
Right.
So that's casual. Plus, they are trying to attract customers. I mean, they know Money Heist has so much of followers. So I need to reach those followers of Money Heist, but I did not have to spend that much of money. So how do I do it? Is kind of tag Money Heist and tag Netflix, and along with that, do your own memes of what it suggests. So you're giving a kind of advantage for them also, and do it. So one suggestion whenever people think of this will be to give credit and then take it. So when we give credit and then take it, its life becomes very easy, right? I mean, today maybe AntWak is doing something, I have to give credit for them, and then I will have to take credit. It does not mean that, okay, we are doing everything. So similar aspect is like if we are picking something from another brand, give credit for them. Tell them, okay, such a awesome, the first time we are seeing something like Money Heist as a web series coming out, and it's world's favorite. So kudos for Netflix and Money Heist team to bringing out, and then put your content. So you are giving credit for them, not taking away from them, plus doing it. Definitely the short term will definitely be there, Rampi, because the trend will be lost maybe after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, once people are seeing the final web series and once we are done with it. So, but yes, short term storytelling, definitely it's good idea.
All right. So guys, link is there in the chat box. I forgot to, so that one was a direct message. So link is there in the chat box. You can check the link out and sign up. And so Manjunath, it's like an end of the session. I just ask you one question, like if you want to give 3 tips, so to start building brands in digital era, like top 3 tips, what those tips will be?
Yeah, I mean, definitely is our topic, build your story. So definitely is our topic. Second thing, be active on your social media. Third one will be like hustle around. So hustle around these 2 things, and you'll be able to make a mark, and you'll be able to build your own personal brand.
Right. All right. So I think guys, you have any questions you can ask? Else you can also tell which brand you like, their stories you like, those are inspiring. You can tell your story. We have 5 minutes left. Anybody? Okay, I think we are not getting any questions. Okay. So Manjunath, last thing, if you want to give any tips to our budding digital marketer, like how to, like you told about like how to start with digital marketing. So still, if you want to give any tips, like to focus on digital marketing and how to start with, so what it will be?
Okay. I mean, so again, going back to basic, understand where you want to be. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of engineers also jumping onto digital marketing. I'm seeing a lot of people who have done their engineering or coming into digital marketing. So you guys will be having some information about coding, and you will be able to understand technical aspects of SEO better. And from there, you'll be able to understand the functional aspect. You will be able to quickly build your websites because you know some aspects of coding. You would have experimented with HTML. I myself am seeing with a lot of people who are interning with me. So they are like pretty quick in building these landing pages, etc. So pick your passion. It can be design, it can be your content, and it can be your coding. So pick your passion, and you need to build onto it. See, other digital marketing skills can anyways be developed as you move along in your career. It don't go with the attitude that I want to do everything and I want to learn everything. So go step by step as per your passion. If you think you are a social media guy, you want to be there. So upskill in terms of content and design. If you think, okay, I have some engineering background, I have skills to work on HTML, and I will have skills to kind of learn WordPress quickly. So go for it. Then on the other side, there are a lot of marketing automation tools. So if you have a habit of kind of playing around with multiple tools, go and kind of learn. There are a lot of trial offers available with marketing automation tools. Go for it. All put together, you will come to know where you want to land in digital marketing and go for it completely. From there, other aspects can be done. See, I'll give an example of SEO manager who was good in all the SEO aspects. He kind of elevated into digital marketing manager. There is a social media manager who has elevated into digital marketing manager, meaning that he is kind of 9 out of 10 on social media and maybe 7 out of 10 on SEO, but he still got elevated to a digital marketing manager in his career over 3 to 5 years of time. Same thing with the SEO manager. He was 10 on 10 on SEO and maybe 7 on 10 on content and design, etc. He also got elevated to digital marketing manager because one of his top-notch skill was very good, and he's kind of aligning towards other skills. And now everything we call it as a campaign together. As digital marketing was evolving, we were thinking, okay, one by one we'll go and we'll learn. Now, when we do the campaign, we will see the response across email, across social media, across analytics, then across SEO, across landing pages. So there are multiple aspects that comes through. And another boom that is happening in digital marketing, those who are good in quantitative analysis, is data science and data analytics. So data science and data analytics in digital marketing will play a very important role because we'll have to know how many people came in, how many people responded, what is the conversion, what can we do it better in terms of reaching out to right audience. So analytics is a thing for someone who is very good in quantitative analysis and wants to make their career in data science across digital marketing. So there are a lot of these aspects. Go one by one, learn through, maybe get onto some course and start interning with companies. That's where you will come to know all your strength, weakness, where you stand when it comes to others. So if you go for a 3-month or a 4-month digital marketing course, and if you kind of accustom it with another 3 months or 4 months internship after that, I am sure you're definitely ready for a job. So 6 months, 7 months down the line, if you want to start now, and if you want to get something in 6 months, 7 months down the line, that will be the thing. I mean, start learning and start implementing through internships, and both the things will result in a very good career for you to move forward. And reach out to your mentors, reach out to a lot of people on LinkedIn there, and understand if you're not able to get something out. So there are a lot of people who will be able to help you out, and reach out to those communities.
All right. So we have crossed 1 hour mark. So thank you, Manjunath. Thank you so much for the session. The session is very incredible. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And so thank you guys for spending Saturday morning with us. Thanks a lot. And if you guys are really interested to start your career in digital marketing, you can check the link out. And we do this kind of free masterclass every week. So you can check our AntWak social media platform. So yes, do check out. And thank you, Manjunath. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for the session.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye.